Hi everyone, it is C, and today we are doing something a little different. We are playing Hypermarket, but we're going to do a little bit of like a speed build. So after this little bit, I did just speed up everything because I wanted to show you guys behind the scenes of me moving all of the storage to the back, as well as finishing up with some of the organization of the store. So at this point, we are sped up just a bit. I have it a little bit below 2 times speed. So if you are kind of where you get like motion sickness or something, I'm sorry. I understand if you're not able to watch this video, but I tried not to make it too fast. But the video itself was like 45 minutes. So I speeding it up, cut it down to about a 25-minute video. So figured that would be a little better. But I do hope that you guys are having an amazing day or evening. If you are new to the channel, if you would consider subscribing as well as liking the video, I truly appreciate it so much. Right now we are literally just moving all of our items into the back storage. In the last video, we did expand the store, and I did say I wanted to kind of work off camera. When I went to start playing, I was like, I might as well just record it and see if I can do this with doing the voiceover. So hopefully this turns out well. But yeah, I just spent a lot of time moving the items, and then I also opened the store while this was going on. That way we could just make some money. Took me a little bit to get the placement of these AC units, but we did it finally. And then I think still just placing. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be just fully talking. Again, it's a 25-minute video, but I'll try to yap away for you guys. Let's see. It didn't take as long as I thought it would moving everything, but it was a lot of me just trying to concentrate to make sure I have everything placed correctly. So a lot of back and forth with this one. And then I don't know why. So at the very beginning, I placed one of the sensors on the other side of the shutter. I don't know why I just didn't like go ahead and buy a second sensor, so I didn't have to keep opening every time I walk through. Sometimes when you go back and watch your gameplay, it's like, why did you do that? I can definitely be a little bit smarter when I'm not recording, but it's okay. And what am I doing now? I think at this point I may have, yeah, okay. So I did realize I needed to just go ahead and buy that sensor. And then also with moving this cone, so I had someone leave a comment, and it was a really great suggestion to move the cone further away from that garbage bin, especially with all of the big boxes. And then I think so I went and just upped the volume of everything because, let's see, what am I doing? Okay, yeah. Either way, they said to move that cone so the deliveries wouldn't be so close to the garbage bin. Here I am just fiddling with the settings. But that is a really good suggestion because you guys have seen I've thrown away a couple of things on accident. So I don't know why I didn't think to do that before. And then just continuing to move the storage racks. But I am only a couple of videos, like, I don't really want to say I'm pre-recording, but I do try to have at least a day or two ahead. But pretty much now, with any feedback, I should be able to implement it. So if you have any feedback like that, please let me know, guys. And again, I am so sorry if you have like motion sickness or anything, and this back and forth, it's a lot. That's why I went and I turned down the sensitivity a bit because I realized like I'm going to be moving back and forth a lot. But we will just continue. At the end, guys, everything looks so good. And we are also very, very close to getting to level 48 by the time the video ends. So I'm excited to finally get in the camping stuff. I know we've talked about it a few episodes now. And it pretty much takes me it pretty much takes me like the full day, and then I eventually at the end of moving everything, I bring back I hire the workers so they can stock the store. But it was like 45 minutes of me recording, and then after that maybe like another 30 to 45 minutes. It took a really long time to get the store ready to go. And then this is me just being a little smarter and moving the racks closer to me. And here we go. I do wish that the shutters, even though there is that sensor so it automatically opens, I wish it would just stay open until you closed it. If you time it just right, you can get back through it without it closing, but I think it's just a little annoying. But that's just my own personal preference. But I'm really excited for you guys to see kind of how the store looks. Again, I think we went through and like moved all the storage stuff, and then we also kind of created a new area for the lamps that I'm excited for you guys to see. And then we also I'm already forgetting all of what we've done, so we'll just have to see. But I think there was something else that we ended up working on as well with the store. Oh, it was the self-checkout. So we added a couple more self-checkouts as well, which is really nice. Here we go. But you guys will have to let me know. I know there's a lot of people playing this game, and there's so many different ways to play it. Like I've seen people not even use this back warehouse storage area because they don't want their workers having to walk a long way, which makes total sense. I think they already take so long as it is. I don't really care if they have to walk a little bit further. So I wanted everything to be in this, dedicated area back here. But you'll have to let me know if you are playing it, how you set up your storage. There's probably smarter ways to do it than what I'm doing, but it's okay for now. And it looks like that was the last storage rack. So all of that is finally placed. And then I want to say we start working on these modular walls. Yes. So I start working on getting all of this moved out of the way to create the new space. And then that gives us so much space in the store, guys. I didn't realize how much space I was taking up with the storage. So that is really nice. There we go. And then you guys are going to have to give me feedback on the store because I end up doing some weird kind of things with some of the shelves, and I don't know why. Like I placed it and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then towards the end of the video, I'm like, does it even really make sense? Once I do it, I'll kind of point it out to you guys. But I guess it just depends on what products I end up putting on it, because right now they're empty shelves. And I think that's also, I don't like having empty shelves, furniture just sitting in the store, because it's hard for me to kind of imagine how it's going to look with the products. And we end up, so I do get another door. I know I talked about getting rid of a door, but I wanted to place this. I thought it was really cool. There we go. And then I don't completely close off this area here because I wasn't sure if the customers would walk through the door, but I do end up kind of closing off a bunch of it. So you'll see that. I'm so happy they added more modular walls. I haven't seen that in, what am I doing here? I'm not sure, but I haven't really seen the modular walls in other games. So I'm really happy to see that in this game, because you can really, again, you can create your store kind of how you want, create your own sections. And then here I am, we're going to start placing all of these lamps. And I'm so happy. You guys know I've talked about it in so many episodes. I was just very unhappy with the placement of the lamps. I think they take up a lot of space. So now having like its own little dedicated area, it's awesome. And then when we get in our camping stuff, I think we will also kind of put them kind of tucked away, because I think those items also sit on the display, the floor display unit, and they're just not very pretty. So I want to kind of hide them. I don't want to completely not have them in my store, but I don't want it just taking up so much of my floor space at the same time. But we end up doubling up the quantities of the lamps. So we should be, hopefully, we should be a-okay and not run out of lamps during the day. We will see. I didn't get a chance to actually play any of it, like once everything's all set up and such. So I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm excited to kind of check that out in the next video. Here we go. I think we should be a-okay though with all of those lamps. And then I think this is where I start setting up this weird little, yeah. So I set that up there and I said, oh, that looks really good. So I was like, let me set up more little sections like this. Don't know why. So I end up placing, I don't remember how many, just a few, I think. But it's very random. I don't know why we will have these random like column type things. And then I end up not even using that shelf type and getting, which looking back, I think the rounded ones do look really good on that. But I was like, oh no, let's get rid of this shelf type. And then I got in these and placed them. And it looks like something's missing there. So that's probably not going to be permanent. Oh, I'm so sorry about all of the movement here, guys. And then, yeah, so here in my head, I was like, this makes sense. Kind of break up the store a little bit. And maybe in the future we will end up using those. But for now, I'm just like, why did I do that? And then, let's see. We end up moving the fridges. So I start lining them up against this back wall here. And I decide also to double the quantities of these as well. So I want to say every item in the store now has double quantities now. So we should be pretty good as far as stock throughout the day. But that's probably just going to end up being more work for our employees. So that's going to be fun. But maybe not. Maybe they'll be able to keep up a little bit better. I don't think that the fridges needed to have like double quantities, but since I was wanting to move the fridges to this back wall, I didn't want there to be a lot of empty space just because we didn't have enough fridges. So I decided to add in more. And I think it ends up looking really, really good. I hope you guys agree with that. But yeah, just a lot of moving, and you guys will see me being so indecisive as always. But in the end, it turns out to be really, really nice, in my opinion. Again, let me know if there's a smarter way to do something, but I think it looks really good. And I think I even do a third fridge for the chicken. I know I said it, you know, doesn't really make sense to have that much and it's not that pretty, but we had the space for it. So I was like, why not? You might as well. Maybe we won't run out throughout the day. And I think here is where I'm really kind of like confused on where to place items because it ends up where underneath, so where I'm putting the sour cream now, I go back and forth and I end up moving them and there's just an empty space, but I didn't want there to be empty space, but I couldn't figure out what to fill. So I don't like having that one empty space underneath the pink yogurts, but for now it's just going to have to work. And then I also kind of go back and forth on the placement of the sliced ham. So you guys will see me being a little indecisive, but nothing's new on that end. But I finally get it, and it makes a lot more sense once I play around with it a bit. There we go. So yeah, I think that makes total sense, having one half of the fridge dedicated for the sliced ham and then the other for the beef. And then I was like, oh, the container types are the same for the hummus and the tuna. Let's move the sour cream back over there. I don't know when I do that actually. I must come to, so I think I end up moving it more than once. Oh goodness. Because eventually I'm like, why wouldn't I put the sour cream, with the hummus and tuna because they're the same container type. And let's see. We're buying more fridges. Again, I don't think we need like this much cheese, this much yogurt. I think, what we had was plenty, but also just visually, I think adding more and more products into the store kind of fills it in because the store is so big now. And I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen with like expanding again because we'll have to check once we're back in the game in the next episode, but there's still quite a few expansions left, so kind of interested to see how that's going to work out and look. Let's see. And I think at this point, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that space with the sour cream. Where the sour cream was. Goodness, I cannot speak tonight. I'm sorry. But we just leave it. We leave it blank. And then I'm pretty sure the freezers end up right where they started because I was thinking about using those columns there, which I don't know. I don't think there was enough room. So I think that's why I decided not to do that. But they just look a little random right there. So I don't really know where to ultimately leave those. And now noticing I didn't do double quantities of those, so I could potentially make like an aisle area for the freezers and double up those quantities, because I think these are the only items in the store that don't have double, double shelf space. And I do plan on, at the beginning of the next one, we will do kind of a slower walkthrough of the store, showcasing everything. But just at the end, by the time they finished, it took so long. So I was kind of needing to move on from the game. So we'll do that in the next one. And we do get in more self-checkout, so I'm just kind of moving those. And sorry guys, I end up throwing away a lot of those extra modular walls. It's just, we are making so much money, and I just got tired of kind of having to throw them in like a pile somewhere and then tripping over them and all that. So I just throw them away. Eventually you will be able to sell your furniture, which is really nice. I wish that was already part of the game now, but unfortunately it's not. There we go. And at this point, I'm like, I'm about to have to bring in these restockers. Let's get these sensors up. So, because I try to help them out a little bit. So I didn't want to have the trouble of the shutter doors as well. Oh, I guess I don't get rid of all of the modular walls. Yeah, so we start closing this off just a bit. I do leave, some space, but it is kind of tucked away now, which I really, really like. And I think I just, I tuck away my computer. And then at this point, we're kind of winding down to the end of the video. I kind of go in and I just start buying all of the things for them to stock. And then again, it took them out. I think I kind of underestimated the time. It was probably closer to like an hour. So to completely stock everything, and then I went through and made sure the entire back room was completely stocked as well. So it took them quite a while actually, but for as far as like the lamps, I think we are going to be a-okay. We should be at least. And then just seeing for the chicken, same thing. I think with 3 full fridges, we shouldn't sell out. And there's just so much to order. And again, I don't like having those empty shelves. So I don't know what to do with those. For now, I'm going to leave them as they are, and I'll kind of think on it. But if you guys have any suggestions on what to do, or I just want to break up the store a little bit. It's just so big, and that's my problem. But it looks like we are kind of winding down. Trying to see if I show anything else before I end this. I think I'm just showing you guys what all was done today. But I do thank you guys so much for sticking around and, playing this game with me. And again, this isn't our normal format, so I do hope that you guys are okay with this. Sorry you had to listen to me yap for 25 minutes, but I do, again, thank you guys so much. And we'll pick back up in the next one. It'll be our regular gameplay style of video. But I appreciate you guys so much, and we'll talk later. Bye.